Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Eddie here and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. For today's video, we have something that is released this week, and it is a very special release and something that I am personally excited for. And this video should have dropped sooner, but unfortunately FedEx had other plans. So initially I thought that the package was lost, and after a couple of days I finally ended up receiving it, and that's why you're getting this review now. And that is none other than the Nike and Clot Clotez. And guys, obviously by the silhouette of the shoe, you can tell that this is a Clotez, or what Clot has its vision on what a Clotez should look like. And I love the fact that this sneaker has a lot of futuristic vibes to it, as well as the functionality aspect of it, which I'll get more into the details of the shoe. So first of all, guys, let's just go into the box details real quick. And I love the fact that with this collaboration, there's a lot of Asian ideals. And when we actually look at the top of the lid right here, you can actually see that yin and yang symbol, which is really dope. Then we also have a black and white side of Nike, which is really cool. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the yin and yang philosophy, I'm gonna say it in my own perspective on what I believe for it to be. Simply put, it's just a balance between life. So as you can see on this box, we have the black, and the inverse or opposite of that is the white. There's good and bad. There's a male and there's a female, and it's basically a kind of opposites attracts each other kind of philosophy, which I think is a pretty dope and relatable idea, which we all see in our daily lives. So that's just something else to note right there. And then when we look onto this side of the box, you can see that we have the Clot motion right there. And as the creator of Clot, who was Edison Chen, said, this is basically inspired by the martial artists making the actual shape of the letter Clot in their actual motion, which I think is pretty dope, and runs into that martial artist philosophy as well, which is pretty dope. And then when we look onto this side, we have the Nike logo right there in the yin and yang split. And then on this side, we do have the Nike motion right there, which I think is pretty dope. So again, we have the word Nike right there, but it's made into that martial art motion, which I think is pretty dope. And then finally onto this side, we do have the sticker tag right there, and it actually reads off as Nike, Clotez, and Clot, and the colorway shown is black and white and black. And I got this in my true to size, which is a size 8. Then once we open this lid right here, you can actually see that we have these kind of inserts, which I'll get into later into the video. And then finally, we have this nice Clot wax tissue paper right there, which I think is pretty dope. And this is exactly where the sneakers would lie in. So now guys, let's just go right into the inspiration behind the shoe. And as I mentioned earlier, it heavily takes inspiration on the martial arts ideas, yin and yang philosophy, and just a lot of different Asian cultures, which I think is pretty dope. And as Edison Chen, the creator of Clot, said himself, this sneaker was heavily inspired by the Kung Fu shoe that a lot of famous martial artists used to wear, such as Bruce Lee, Yip Man, and I'm personally going to add Jet Li and Jackie Chan into the mix because those were some of the guys that I watched as well, because as a kid, my mom and my uncle definitely used to have me watching a lot of those martial arts movies, and they stuck with me to this day. And I think that's probably why I really like this shoe. Something else to note is the fact that Edison Chen wasn't the direct designer behind the shoe. It was actually Harry Wong, who actually works for Juice Store, which is the online and physical retail stores in China as well as LA that actually holds these kind of Juice Store or Clot collaborations. So the Air Force One Clots, these, the 13s, and all the Clot collaborations, they usually release exclusively through the store first, and then they probably have a limited stock onto the sneakers app. So getting back into Harry Wong, he actually entered the Nike On Air contest in Shanghai, China. And basically that's where Edison Chen, who was a judge in that competition, saw this initial inspiration. And I think that's so dope that Wong's design on that contest eventually came to life on this Clotez silhouette. And I believe the initial silhouette that Wong made was on an Air Max 720, but I think the profile of the Clotez makes this a perfect fit, guys. So other than that, that's gonna conclude the inspiration behind the shoe. And now when focusing on to the details of the shoe, I think this is where the sneaker really shines. So for the price tag of about $150 retail, I'm not too sure because I bought it off the Hong Kong website, and that currency conversion is completely different, but I do think it's $150. You actually are getting 3 shoes into one. So we have the base model right here, which is the baseline and standard of it, which I think looks really dope, but it's actually removable and it's interchangeable, which I'll show later into the video. So we do have a house shoe, we have a lifestyle shoe, and we do have a kind of like slipper-ish kind of shoe that looks just like a Kung Fu shoe, which I think is pretty dope. So guys, when we first look at the main portion of the silhouette, we have this nylon upper right here, and we do have it in this black material. So there isn't a toe box that you could visibly see, but we do have a Nike logo right here, and it's not fully shown just due to the fact that the rest of the check actually goes into the shoe inside of it. So when we actually go into the back heel area now, we do have the yin and yang logo right here with the 3M strip, and this is basically used to tighten when you put it into the slipper form, which I'll show you again later into the video. And I think that's just a very nice detail. Then when we actually look at the midsole of the shoe, we have our standard Clotez midsole, but it's split into the colors white and black, which is pretty nice. And when we go into the outsole of the shoe, you can see that we have that Clotez herringbone traction pattern, and then we do have that Nike logo right there. Then when we move on to the next phase of the shoe, this is where it's actually removable, so you can actually just take it out like that. And then boom, we have the outer shape right here, and then we do have the inside of the shoe, which I think is pretty dope. And this is in the shape of a Clotez, but it really reminds me of the original Nike Waffle Racer because it's so flat and it just looks like a running shoe. But this would actually be the house shoe version of the shoe, which I think is pretty dope. So when you would be walking outside, it would be these two shoes together. But then in Asian culture, there's a thing where people who enter your house have to take off their shoes because they don't want the outside dirt to come into the house. So instead of having to fully take off your shoes, you literally just slip it out, and the bottom of it is going to be clean because it's inside the shoe. And then you can walk around a house in sneakers still, which I think is a pretty dope idea and has a very functional aspect to it, and it just looks really nice overall. So when we look at it, we do have the standard Clotez toe box right there, and I think the leather on this is actually pretty good. The leather doesn't feel cheap, and when you actually look at the inside of the shoe, the leather is exposed. So I think this is a very good quality leather, and it's very comfortable on foot, even though it's a pretty flat shoe. Then when we look at the eyelet area, the same thing pretty much follows suit. Then we have those standard white laces right there. And then on the mesh, we have it in this kind of blue tint. So it's not white, it has this blue tint on it. And it's a subtle detail, but it does make the shoe pop. It's due to the fact that we only have colors like white and black on it, which I think is pretty nice. Then on the top of the tongue tag right there, you can actually see that we have the Nike logo, which is pretty nice. And then on the lateral side, the same thing pretty much follows suit to all Clotezes. We have our leather right there. Then we have a thick Nike check in the color black. And then we do have something nice on the heel tab right here. So I'm gonna get the other shoe real quick just to show you. When we actually put these two heel tabs together, it actually says the words Kung Fu in the Chinese characters. And I think it's just a simple detail, but super nice and just dope. I think this shoe is really fire. Then when we go into the medial side, the same thing pretty much follows suit as the lateral side. And then on the outsole, you can see that we have it in this black and white, and it's not on purpose because when you actually get the other shoe and you put it together, we do have that black and white yin and yang details right there. And then finally, when we look at that red detail right there, that is the Clot logo. And then one thing to note on the right foot is that instead of the Nike logo, you do get the Clot logo right there, as opposed to this Nike logo on the left shoe. Then one final detail to note, because like I said earlier, this is a 3-in-1 shoe, is the fact that when you grab the baseline sneaker right here, it's just this nylon material, right? But then guys, if you remember this insert that I showed you in the box details, all you have to do now is put the insert inside the shoe. Then you have this Kung Fu looking shoe, man, and I think this is really dope. You can wear it around casually, outside, in the house, whatever. You just put your socks on and you just slide it right in, man. And because of that, this is why I really love the shoe, because for the price of $150 or $160 after taxes, you get a lot of different details into one shoe. You get the nice box, you get the extra accessories, and you get to have 3 shoes in one, and you just can't go wrong with this shoe. The colorway that it's in just makes it wearable with anything. It's a black and white shoe. You can literally wear this with anything, guys. So again, to me, I'm gonna have to say that this sneaker is a complete hit in my opinion. I think it's super dope and just has a lot of different details. But you guys, let me know what you think about this sneaker in the comment section down below. And other than that, y'all, let's just get right into the on-foot look, all right? Y'all, so that's pretty much gonna conclude the review as well as the on-foot look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Guys, as I mentioned earlier, this is a super simple shoe, but it has a lot of fire details to it, and I'm really loving it, and I'm going to say this is a complete hit. Let me know again what you guys think about the sneaker in the comment section down below. And I don't really know what the resale is looking like on this shoe. I don't know if it's high or if it's low, but either way you put it, I'm going to say it's completely worth it. So if it does have a low resale, I think you should cop this up, because I think the sneaker is super dope and it could go with any outfit, casual wear, in-house wear, anything. It's just a ready-to-go shoe. And one more thing I want to mention, guys, is the sizing of the shoe. So I went with a true to size 8, and the shoe fits me perfectly. So it's literally a chancleta or slipper with a shoe inside of it, so you can't go wrong either way. Comfort wise, super cozy, nothing to complain about. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to conclude everything. So let me know again what you think about this sneaker in the comment section down below. And other than that, y'all, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family and all that. And just keep doing what y'all doing to help push YouTube algorithms and help my channel grow. Guys, we're almost at that 2,000 subscriber mark, so please be sure to share with your friends and family. And one more time for my new viewership, be sure to subscribe down below. And other than that, y'all, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.